Welcome to our interview series with the Internet Innovation Alliance. I'm Rick Boucher, Honorary Chair of the Alliance, and today we welcome Betsy Hooper, who is the National Chairman, President of the National Grange, a widely respected organization, more than 150 years old. And I would note that Betsy is very knowledgeable about rural broadband issues. She's a member of the FCC's Broadband Deployment Advisory Committee, where she's been serving now for a number of years at advising the FCC directly on these issues. So we thought it would be valuable to get her perspective on rural broadband, what its needs are, how the funding ought to take place, and give us the National Grange's perspective on that. So why don't we start, Betsy, by asking where the deployment of broadband in rural America stands on the list of priorities for the National Grange.
Rural broadband has been a priority for the Grange for at least 20 years. It's been our #1 issue for quite a few years. And we're glad that it's getting a lot more interest lately.
Well, hopefully this interview will stimulate that interest even further. That's our goal this morning in any event. So there are obvious implications for rural lifestyles in the accelerated use of broadband as we have addressed the problems of the pandemic. Americans are now choosing to telework from home. In many cases, that's the only way work can take place. Telemedicine has been vaulted from what was a once niche application into the very core of the American healthcare experience. And we expect that many people will decide over the long term to get their healthcare online, having tried it for the first time during the pandemic. We think that there are obvious changes in the way that agriculture will be addressed. So maybe you could just take a bit to describe the implications that you see for the rural lifestyle from these really dramatic changes in the way that people are learning to communicate.
Yes, thank you. Broadband internet has just become essential, even more so in the last few months, obviously. Education is what really concerns me the most. We're getting ready to start school again in the fall, and there's still so many children that don't have internet at home. And they're just going to really have a difficult time with school this fall, because even schools that are opening in person are doing it maybe a couple days a week and virtual the other days. So education is the #1 priority, I think, for getting broadband out there right now. And healthcare is also very important to us. Being in that category of vulnerable right now, I don't want to go to a doctor's office where there's all those sick people. So internet medical care is vital too. And agriculture, I'm currently serving on the Precision Agriculture Task Force, the working group on deployment for the FCC. So we're studying the needs out there for broadband, not just in homes, but in fields, for the equipment that farmers are using nowadays to measure the harvest as it's going through the combines, to put spray materials in the exact correct place where they're needed, all kinds of benefits to agriculture that can only be accessed with the use of broadband.